A very warm welcome to you. My name is Frans Molefe Modise, and this is your most favorite channel, Tshwane Talk TV. And today we are joined by Refilwe Sepeng to deliberate on issues of gender-based violence and femicides, to get an understanding as to why is it important as society that we need to deliberate and unpack this phenomenon of gender-based violence, but most importantly, what is the cause? A very good evening to you, and welcome, Sepeng.
Good evening, Dr. Frans, and to the listeners and the viewers, and good evening to you as well.
Yeah. Maybe before we get into the issue, just explain to us your organization, the name of your organization. When was it formed? Why was it formed? And who are your beneficiaries?
Okay. I'm the founder of Basadi Together, which is mostly female orientated organization. But we mostly female, and the name itself, Basadi Together. It was formed in 2017 with an idea or a vision because of life's challenges that me and some of my friends and colleagues and counterparts sat down and talked about. And then I saw an opportunity to have women come together and start to look into the challenges that we have or experience as women, and how can we help each other. Hence Basadi Together. Especially one of the big challenges that I was facing at that time was the economic challenge. As women, we're trying to sustain ourselves and be independent economically, and I found myself struggling a lot. And within the struggle, I learned a lot, and I was like, let me help other ladies to know how to do or go about assisting each other, how to get money out there without being victimized and all those kind of things, how to go about hustling. As people say, we hustle. And the word hustle is not used more for women. It's used more for men. Men hustle.
We know as hustlers.
Yes. I found myself hustling with men. Amongst a group of men. And it was difficult, but I survived. And I wanted to share the survival tactics with other women. Besides the economic part, there's problems everywhere you go with relating to other people. If you allow me to say, relationships, not only intimate, but we find ourselves as sisters at home fighting. We find ourselves at church, women fighting. We find ourselves in organizations, women bickering, gossiping, fighting, you know. And we don't really come together and try to understand each other and help one another. Hence, that's where Basadi Together comes from. As an idea. 2019, I formalized it and called my sister Lerato, and then we sat down and put it on paper, and then we called other women. So I can safely say within the leadership of Basadi Together, we are 6, and we have a lot of other Basadis out there. We are not province bound or area bound. Wherever we go, we are Basadi Together. Recently, I've just met a few ladies from Eastern Cape. So that's how far Basadi Together can go. My vision is to see Basadi all over the world coming together. When I think of the Oppenheimers, those are guys hustling. So I want to see ladies one day being the upper numbers of this world being millionaires as ladies, as women, really bang, really independent, So basically that's where Basadi is, and in that I've also touched on the beneficiary part of it.
Yes.
It does not only benefit women. When we empower women, we empower the whole society. But my focus is on women being independent.
Yes.
I meet men, and we meet men. Whenever they need help, we assist. We have the boy child in mind as well. So we want to branch from the girl child in assisting the boy child as well. As we are going to talk about GBV, you'll understand why we say we need the boy child on board as well. So moving forward, we will move to that space to say not only women and girls, but men and boys should benefit from Basadi Together, and we'll have a better society. That's my belief.
True. Yeah. Now, thanks for that brief introduction into Basadi Together. Now, Sepeng, what is GBV, and or how would you just simplify the term GBV, or just gender-based violence, and why is it important that as society we need to understand and talk about the GBV?
Okay. Personally, I believe GBV is violence against anyone. But you go to the books, it has its own meanings. And I understand that because when you get into the legal frame of mind, you can't just do as you think. You must follow the law, you must follow protocols and policies and all those kind of things. But basically, I think it's when you violate someone, you are gender violating that person. So GBV would be violence against another gender. So if a man hits a woman, it's GBV. If a woman hits a man, it's GBV. So that's basically, and just in simple terms, when you violate someone, you are an offender. You're a GBV offender.
So it's a violation of someone's rights.
Yes. In all forms, I would say. Sexually and all kind of forms. That's what I would say.
Relax, don't hold back. We are not a mainstream, so we say it as it is.
As it is.
Now, what would be the root cause, or what would push someone to engage into GBV?
Okay. You know, I've seen it happening. I've experienced it personally. And my when I draw the line with explaining how and why, it might differ from one person to the other. But when we generalize, I think it would be safe to say most of the causes, it's because of the sense of ownership. You know, it's the territorial kind of mindset. And why am I saying territorial is that we feel that you own the space. Anything that threatens your space, you react that way. You want to protect it. You want to fight back. So I believe that, let me just give an example, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or a man and a woman, husband and wife, or colleagues, you know, male and female colleague. Most of the time when we are together like this and it's all nice and gloomy, you don't feel like I'm violating or I'm moving to a space where you're not supposed to move into. But once the third person comes in, then you start questioning, who is this person? What does he want? Who brings him in? And the first line of questions will be directed to the other person. In most cases, that it comes natural. We don't normally ask those questions to ourselves. But if you don't know this person, you ask, let's say it's a female. I will ask you, I won't ask myself, and that's where the problem lies. Now you're starting, this person is now threatening the comfortable space that you are in, and you start questioning it. And most of the time, it's with the protection part of it. You want to protect your space. So it doesn't always come nice. Hi, baby, no. Like, you know, king. And that will trigger a reaction at the same level. So if you question some of these things in a mode, so the answers will be low and not and then we start fighting. And that's basically what I see in most cases. That's what's happening.
So would you then say that also GBV is also exacerbated by social norms?
Yes.
How we relate to each other, the suspicions of we have.
Most of the time, it's the social norms. It's how we are brought up. It's how we see things happening, and then you adopt those kind of. Some of the things we are not taught, but you see other people doing things, and then you do them as well. And then when they don't happen the way you saw them or the way you are used to, then it starts to irritate you. It starts to become unfamiliar, and you want to go back to what you know. But these other people don't understand where you come from sometimes, and it's not easy. And that is why most of the time, some fights between men and women, it's like Musadi understanding. This woman how hey Basadi Mara. It's because you do things the way you know them, the way you taught yourself, or whoever taught you, and you adopted to those kind of things. But you meet Refilwe. Refilwe also knows things the way she knows them. And when you start doing things out of the normal way, the normal social way, then then we start fighting. But the other thing is, it brings in the element of jealous. Amongst other things. Hence territorial. You can't be jealous about something so more. So the sense of ownership as well creates jealousy.
Entitlement.
Yes. So you are entitled to mutuo. You know, it should happen in a positive way. Believe me, I'm not saying because that creates those kind of things creates sense of belonging. It keeps you at peace. It makes you be comfortable and content. You know, so you don't care, you don't take care, and you don't do things that lovers do as homes. So why would you go a long way? So mutuahao is not bad, but we should do it in a positive way. That's what I think.
Now, how do we bring an end to this social norms? Bad ones, I might add.
Everything is good until we do it the wrong way. Then it becomes bad. An apple is an apple until it's not preserved. Then it rottens, you know, and an apple is nice. So what I would say is, the more we communicate these things in a positive manner, in a relaxed manner, the way we're sitting down and talking about these things, I believe we will understand each other more and better than to always think around issues. To always draw conclusions. You know, if you came home late, why do I draw conclusions rather than talk to you? And if Kiabela, why not tell? You know, then you know that woman won't go to Marantepe. So if you love me again, if you care about me, you will work on this tepo. You know, you would want me to believe you. You can't repeat these things. And that's another thing that brings in so many fights. Yeah, Limalobo we really saw. Ning we really saw. Then we start fighting about it because now it's not a mistake anymore. It's not a misunderstanding anymore. Then utomon disrespect. That's another thing. So the element that disrespect comes in because of the social norms, because of how we behave, because of how we treat each other. So you can't make a mistake. And one mistake happen next week. I mean, come on, I saw a mistake. So we will fight when you do that, you know. And same way, I mean, these things for me, they are not female based. It's male and female
they
issues.
cut across. It's not only one-sided.
Yes. So I would say let's calm down when we have issues. Let's question in a positive manner. Don't fight when you question things. It's okay to question because we need clarity. For me to relax, it's for me to ask. But if me asking things is in a manner or in a violent manner, I must expect a violent response. Then we will fight. Then GBV comes in. And I've heard stories. Yo, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to. But why did you fight in the first place? Why didn't you stop fighting in the first place? If you find yourself in a mood, anger, retreat. That would be part of my solution. Everybody gets angry. I get angry too. But you should teach yourself to be angry to a certain level, not beyond, in a manner that you are now uncontrolled anger. If it's uncontrolled, then you will do things that are uncontrolled. You will do things that they will get in you against the law. You'll
Now, you know, speaking of now this thing that you know, we would have people saying, hey, you know, I killed him, but it was a mistake. I didn't mean to. Now, do you think that the police have a role to play in response to GBV and ending GBV, but also our police adequately trained in that regard?
I'll start with the latter. Are our police adequately trained? Practically, no. Maybe they are trained in theory. They get trained, they go to workshops and stuff like that. But you see, issues like GBV, you can't go to class and say you know about them until you experience them and know how you're going to react in real life. Then I cannot say you are adequately trained. And you can't have a dramatized kind of training for you to be adequately trained. What we see on the ground is our police don't know how to handle GBV issues. You go to police stations, you go to organizations that deals with GBV victims or perpetrators. You will find that our police officers, both male and female, become personal when they deal with such issues. You know, being offended today and not going to court about it, or not opening a case against my partner, does not warrant a police officer to not open a case when I come. If it happened to me 10 times and today I'm opening a case, open a case. Deal with it today now. But they don't, they personalize it. I've heard police officers asking, "Kwena happy?"
Yeah.
Ah, sister, wena man tsamu bulela le motho wa hao. Musinelele mo maloba.
Yeah.
And that's not part of doing your work. Your work is to open a case and investigate it, rehabilitate, recommend ways of dealing with this situation, because you must understand, or if it's a relationship kind of GBV, we have emotions. I love this person. I'm not here because I don't love him anymore. I'm not here because I don't want to sleep with him anymore. I'm here because I want a certain behavior corrected. So I'm here to seek help. To correct this behavior. I still love this man. I can still go home and have sex with him. But I don't want him to beat me up in the process. That's where you come in as a police officer. And I don't think our police officers understand this thing. That I'm not... You know, sometimes women go to the police station. Not because they want their partners to be arrested. And that's why about to let the case. I've dealt with issues, such issues before. You're like, and she's like, no, let's
just bulela.
Yes. And police officers, they're like, utamang logule. No, ipadile bulela ya runa. They don't understand. Or runa repaletsu ko bulela. I want somebody to intervene. You know, so that's the part I think our law enforcement don't understand. And maybe it should not be them dealing with it, because they are not social workers. Intervention yabona will not be to reconcile us, but they are trained to arrest. So when I go to them, I wish there was a way of not going to the police station, but the police or the law enforcement will come back door. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yes, this person has violated me, he has committed a crime, but the kind of crime that this person has committed and that I want help with,
it does not warrant a jailing at that particular moment. It needs psychological intervention, rehabilitation,
such things. Even though there are perpetrators, if you allow me to mention Bomati, who plan to go and kill. You know, those ones. I mean, how do you reconcile? How do you rehabilitate Mutoilongore? His mind is set and rotten to that extent. Premeditated. Those serial killers, those people, I can't talk about them when I talk about this issue. And maybe some women listening to me will say she's crazy. But there are those women who are in relationships who still go back to them, who still wants to go back to their partners. Understand?
Yes.
We don't understand those kind of behavior. Papa wanaka. Wamutwarisa ayomupatella bail. Kachalada high. Papa wana haya sabireki. Ati chalada ayomunsetsa bail. You know?
Because the idea was not to but it was only just to address this particular matter, the violence.
Yes. So when it comes to the police,
I think that's where the legal system really misses it, and the society.
Yes.
That's why I think that's where we miss it.
That's what I think.
Quite an interesting point there. Yeah. Now, does then the sexual violence against men and young boys constitute GBV?
Yes. As I said in the beginning, for me it's not genderized. It's not gender. It's not female. It's not a female thing. anyone that violates anyone commits GBV.
Yeah.
And it's a crime in our books of law. So you violate a young boy, it's GBV. It warrants the law to take its course. You violate a man, if you're a woman, it's still GBV. We are not used to it. We don't want to think about it that way. It's the socialized way of things, that when you're a woman you slap a man, it's not GBV. You know, even the man will be blamed. You know, even at the police station they behave that way. You know, but there are men who are violated, and it's sad and it's painful. I have a friend who was raped by women on the street. Unfortunately, it was one of those moments. And they raped him. When he speaks about it, he feels belittled. He's like, "Yo, I'm ashamed of myself." It took something from him, the masculinity. He feels like he's weak, even years after the incident. When he speaks about it, he's not okay. But violence against anyone is not good. I cannot promote it.
Now, finally, may I speak. How is then Basadi Together creating a safe environment for victims, in particular of GBV?
Honestly, when you say environment, I'm thinking shelters, you know, those kind of things. We don't have. But at Basadi, we have conversations amongst us women.
Yes.
We have a function a year, our annual function, Basadi Together, where we sit down as women and then we talk about these things and we advise each other. In every event, we will have, it's either a legal representative to come and talk about it, the legal part. Our function in 2019, 2020, we had a person from economic development to talk about finances, money, and economic independence. You know, to try and cap some of these things, to say, yes, it happened to you, but what are you doing about it? Are you economically stable to can sustain yourself? Then last 2021 we had an advocate to come and talk to us about these things. In that function we were concentrating on STEP, you know, to say that's one way of violating women. I think we will talk about it some other time. But you see, because of those social way of doing things, your traditions, your culture and stuff like that, some women feel like havana choice. And when you don't have a choice, it's like you are being violated because you do things that you don't want to do. And some women bathwele emzini yabantu, then kiscape. So we talk about these things at Basadi. We don't have a shelter, but we are talking to the mindset. We're talking to, if you are liberated mentally, then you'll be able to get. So that's what at Basadi we do. We don't have a shelter, but we have sister organizations that have shelters if one needs to be referred, we do referrals.
Okay.
If one needs a place to stay, we will go about to assist another woman, hence Basadi Together. So Basadi Together assists with everything that we can as Basadi. We'll make calls to try and assist. If you don't have clothes, you tell us, and then we go find clothes for you. So we are not bound to a certain way of doing things. But everything that we can do at Basadi, we do it that way.
Well, on that note, I think that's a good note to leave it at that. And also, let's remind our viewers to subscribe and also to hit that notification button, but also to join us every Thursday for these topics on GBV every Thursday at 12:30. Be sure to watch the episode on the GBV with Refilwe Sepeng, and till we meet again, God bless.
Thank you. God bless you and the viewers as well.
Thanks.
Thanks.